Taking this dirt road that we saw going down this drainage. The dirt road goes right down the middle of the drainage. We just came down from a place called Bailey Pass. And it goes down to a place called Bailey Ranch. Really don't want to be meeting anybody on this road. There's no place to get off. Ooh, there's some pretty yellow flowers though. Look at those. A patch of flowers there. Lots of wildflowers here. Stop for a picture of the daisy looking flowers. We don't know what they are. We're all the way down this road. It's pretty scenic.
Oh yeah.
And there's the ranch. What's that?
So I wonder if that playa has a name.
I don't know. Kind of a pretty view.
Yellow bloom?
I don't know. There's cacti blooming here. Yellow cacti. Then these are, well, we think these are Mariposa lilies, but they're a little bit different. These are different than the ones we're used to.
They have that extra little...
Yeah, there's something else that's, they're similar, but they're not, I don't think they're the same.
Big ones, that's the Mariposa. Well, yeah, it is different.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, pretty. There's the road we came down. Way up there. And now we hit this main gravel road, looks like, heading down the other side of that mountain range. That was a pretty cool little over the hill type of deal. Went over through that little mountain range there. It's called the Sulfur Spring range, I think. Yeah, coming down that mountain range, we saw lots of wildflowers, and they were pretty. Karen got quite a few pictures of them. Central Overland Trail, Sulphur Spring Station. So this is where the station was. Looks like 1860 to 1861. This is the trail going across to California. And this was called Sulphur Spring Station. And this is what's left of it. This is where it was. Lots of old bricks and
Randy.
all kinds of old garbage here. Square nails. Lots of old garbage here. An old belt buckle or something, some glass. Here's an old hinge. Boy, that's an old
They put this in
rusty thing.
2001.
Yeah. Look at the old bricks. There's like a dugout in the ground where there probably was a building. Somebody put this in, station site. Sulphur Springs. Sulphur Springs. Trail 1860 to 1861. Pony Express.
Oh, I didn't see that. It had two sides.
I'm glad somebody was trying to preserve the history.
Look at this.
Yeah, I picked that. I know I picked that up and looked at it. It's an old wine bottle.
I didn't know that there was writing on each side.
Old brick. Pretty cool. We love the old history. You could just imagine wagon trains coming across this valley. What was it? What was that valley? What do they call it? Oh well, it's on the sign. Coming across this valley. And then Sulphur Springs.
Sulphur Springs Valley?
Sulphur Springs was right, I guess right over there. There's a spring right over there. Underneath that telephone pole, there's a spring there. We saw it when we went by, and then we saw this marker. And there's no other water, there's no other spring here, so that's got to be the one. Sulphur Spring means there's probably a sulfur smell or something, but apparently it was potable.
Nah, no.
Nice little hot spring out in the middle of nowhere.
He's thirsty.
We'll give him some water.
There's I saw a covered thing over here, like
Yeah, I think that's where the source
the
is.
shut off is or something.
I think that's where the source is. It's not that hot.
Oh, it's not?
It's not hot. See, it's still cool enough to get into.
Okay.
There's another little spring at one of the, it's near the other one. It's looking like a trough here. That one's cooler than the other one. Comes out of this source pool. Huh. Boy, talk about wide open spaces, huh? We decided to stay at this hot spring for the night, since late in the day when we got here anyway. And now we have the place all to ourselves so far. Hopefully that'll continue. And this evening might be a really good time for us to go soak in that thing. We got the water narrowed down a little bit to cool it off a little bit, even though it was still doable. It wasn't too hot where it wasn't burning us, although we were red as lobsters when we came out. We were all red, but still wasn't bad. It was nice to get cleaned up. So now we're sitting underneath this shade, and Karen's playing with her tablet. And just kind of chilling by the shade here. It's really not that hot out here. It's probably in the, I'm thinking high 80s maybe. And it's not bad when you're in the shade, but when you get out in the sun, it's a little bit warmer. But this place is pretty cool. It's got, oh, there's some wild horses, babe.
Really?
Yeah, right down below us. Wow. Pretty cool. You know, we see wild horses all the time, so it's not a big deal, but it's pretty cool to see them out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 or 11 of them anyway. Pretty cool. This is like wide open space here. This is kind of a neat place to camp. Right. Can you get pictures?
I'm trying to get. Ooh, they're so beautiful.
I know, there's a whole bunch of them.
One of them saw us.
Yeah, they saw us. Anyway, this is where we're spending the night. Then we're going to be heading down that mountain range somewhere down in there tomorrow. I don't know where. We'll find out when we get there. Good morning. We had a nice soak this morning, watching the sun come up over the mountains. It's nice hot water. You gotta love it, right?
Right.
Now we got some nectar of the gods to get our day started. The dogs have been fed and treated to many treats. Oops, maybe not enough. This is really quite a beautiful place to camp. The big downside was it's a party spot. Some people showed up last night late and did their party thing over here at the hot spring, but we're far enough away from the spring it didn't really bother us, and they weren't too loud, so it wasn't too bad. And then the other downside of this place is there's some biting flies here, some no-see-ums. Well, we don't care much for no-see-ums, but you know what? You just gotta, sometimes you gotta put up with the bad when you take the good. So, all in all, it's still worth it. Really good place. Tonight, though, we're gonna find a spot in the woods somewhere, maybe in the Toyabe National Forest. See if we can get a place in the trees. Probably won't be as warm as this. It was meadowlark. Did you hear that?
Did you see him?
I heard him.
Oh.
My favorite bird, the meadowlark. Anyway, we'll see where we end up today. Somewhere in the woods. Here's where we camped. Way out there. Way out there on that little hill. So that's where the hot springs is. This is kind of the main road to get here. So off we go, and where we're heading is down that way. It's the Nevada Superhighway right here. This is kind of a back road, main road, so to speak. We just had an antelope go across in front of us a little while ago. That was so cool. I wish I'd had the camera running, but it didn't. Ran right in front of us, pronghorn antelope. Going about 40 miles an hour, right?
Yeah. It was gorgeous. It was beautiful.
across this out here. Got to stop and check it out. Interesting roof construction. There's a bed frame and a rat's nest. Place is pretty intact. It wouldn't take much to get this livable again. May 1920. Looks like 1920. I don't think this was a door. Looks like a storage area or something. These little rooms they're not connected to each other. People have gotten graffiti all over have dug it into the, I guess that's a mud adobe type thing. I don't know what this is. It's kind of soft. Yep, they just used mud there to seal the rocks. Oh, interesting. Got a beam going down the middle of an old tree. Those two are connected, sort of. Nice header. Dog right there. That's pretty. We've been working our way in here trying to get to this place, and then it's no trespassing. So we're gonna honor that. We're not going in there, but we just thought we'd see what we could see from the outside of the fence. Looks like it had a concrete pad, but there's some adobe houses here that are really broke down. Cottonwood trees, some old cottonwoods. This is called Morrison Ranch on the map that I have. Creative fence building here. Definitely an old one. Sod roof, huh? Dirt roof. Look at that concrete pad down there.
Yeah. Somebody's bought this.
Well, you can't blame them for keeping people out that would destroy the place. Down this road, down the Antelope Valley Road. The road looks like it's going to go right through that forested area ahead of us, which is exactly where we want to go. So we'll see what it looks like. It's kind of interesting. We're going down this big valley, and now all of a sudden we're headed for a forest that is dead ahead of us, which is way cool. A couple of wild horses out there. Born to be wild on the radio. This is a little side road we took to see. It looked like a structure on the map, but there was nothing there. So this is up in the woods. We'll be heading out of here down into another valley, I think, before long. It's kind of a nice change up here. Back on the main road. This is the main road going wherever we're going. Dropping down into the next valley. Wild horses.
Yeah, now that I finally find the damn thing out.
There they go. They broke on through to the other side. Driving up this little road that I'm hoping has a camping spot somewhere. There's a nice little creek here called Clear Creek. Got aspen trees and all kinds of cool stuff. Oh, this might be it. This will definitely do. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Nice little flat spot to pull in. Okay. This is going to be the deal here. Got lots of shade. This is called Clear Creek. and it's clear, which is good because I'm filtering some water out of it. This is our little camp. For this leg of the journey. Found this little spot up here at the end of the road, which isn't the end of the road. It continues on up the road, up the hill. Might be some better spots up there, but this is the first good spot we came to, so we just said there's no use continuing. Might as well just hunker down here. We're spending the night anyway. We're not camping here for any length of time. Got some solar power going in the jetty. Got creek over here. This is where I'm getting the water for the filtering operation. Biggest problem with this place is the no-see-ums. Lots of those guys here. And we're seeing them. So they're not doing too good staying out of sight. Anyway, we just have to deal with it. So there's the missus doing her tablet.
Yes.
Sitting in the shade.
And my 5,000 little bugs.
With little teeny bugs buzzing all around her. Every once in a while a big gust of wind comes up and kind of blows them away, which is a good thing. But for now, we're just going to sit here and enjoy the rest of the day in comfort of bug heaven.